Hello again, everybody. This is John, Glenn, and Dexter here with BestPriceNutrition.com. Today we're going to review the Udo's Choice, the Pet Essentials for Dogs. We also have the Pet Essentials for Cats, but in this video we're going to focus on the Pet Essentials for Dogs. As you can see, this is my dog Dexter here. So when I got a dog, I actually started researching nutrition and stuff for dogs. I know you've learned dogs and stuff like that in the past, and you know, there's a lot of people now who feed their dogs raw, actually, because the thought is that dogs are descended from wolves. So raw foods are actually fine for dogs because of how short their GI tract is. They can handle, you know, raw chicken and things like that because of the salmonella doesn't bother them because it runs through their system so quickly. Well, some people, they just don't have time to do raw because you've got to unfreeze it, let things thaw out and stuff like that. So there's some better forms of kibble out there that don't have, you know, all the various byproducts. They're grain-free is a big thing with pet foods, so because grains are, you know, bad for dogs especially. Well, Udo's came out, and this is actually, it's a nutritional support for dogs. It's essential fatty acids, fiber, enzymes, and phytonutrients. And what you can use it for is a topper on your dog's food. Even if you feed your dog raw, it's okay. But the main reason people feed their dogs raw is because, you know, when you cook things, what happens to the enzymes?
It damages all the enzymes inside there. So and a lot of commercial dog foods available now, they're either cooked out or, you know, it's so processed that it's missing all these.
Yeah, some of the junk that you find put into the dog foods now are just, it's amazing to think that, you know, we give it to a dog. So like I said, you could find some better brands. I mean, off the top of my head, I give Dexter, Akana, you know, there's Origin. These are companies that tell you, hey, we use fish, it was caught here, this is what we're putting in the product, it's grain-free. So out of convenience, sometimes I'll give them that, and I'll put this on there as a topper because dogs don't produce the digestive enzymes like we do. They never had to. You know, they were descended from wolves, so they would eat raw meats, and raw meats have the enzymes present. They're active because they haven't been destroyed. Now Dexter here is trying to jump up on the table because he wants some more treats, actually. But point being is that if you can give your dog the kibble and you provide the enzymes and the phytonutrients that are in this product, it's going to help your dog digest its food better, you know, which is the point of, you know, feeding raw. Now, nothing's going to replace raw, but sometimes if you feed your dog 2-3 times a day, depending upon the age of your dog, you know, you may feed him raw once, and then other times you might give him kibble, or, you know, there's some freeze-dried foods out there, and you can use this as a topper. And again, to help the dog digest the foods properly. The essential fatty acids are really important. I don't know, did you used to give your dog salmon oil, I think you were telling me?
Yeah, salmon oil. You'll hear a lot of people who put healthy fats inside the report onto the dog's food and things like that, because these are things that dogs do need, just like humans. They do need healthy, essential fats.
And that's actually in this product as well. So that's another thing. There's flaxseed in here, sunflower seed, so that's also added. I do still give Dexter some salmon oil on top of this as well, but I do feel real comfortable putting this in as a topper onto his food. And like I said, the main thing for me are the enzymes. You know, I think the phytonutrients are good too, but really the main point to me are the enzymes that are going to help him digest his food. Because you'll see, you know, oftentimes dogs try and eat their feces, and sometimes it's because the food's not digested all the way. You know, a lot of people have found that when they feed their dogs raw, they don't run into that problem. So again, that's the main use of this product. If you read pet food labels too, you'll see they're guaranteed analysis. It's a little bit different than with human food, but you're talking protein is not less than 25% in this, fat not less than 15%, fiber not more than 8%, and moisture not more than 10%. So that's the breakdown on it. Just to run through some of the ingredients real quick of what you're going to find in here, you know, each 16-ounce container is going to have flaxseed, defatted flaxseed, sunflower seed, defatted sunflower seed, sesame seed, defatted sesame seed, rice germ, rice bran, oat germ, oat bran, rice bran, carrot, whole golden flaxseed, tomato, ginger, sprouted soybean, barley grass, beet, chrysanthemum, and then the digestive enzyme blend. It's got a protease, which can help break down protein, lipase to help break down fat, amylase for carbohydrates, cellulase for fiber, cellulose, you know, maltase for, you know, I assume malt sugar, that's what I'm guessing, glucoamylase, invertase, pectinase, again, pectin's another fiber, phytase, and lactase in case there's any lactose, but, you know, for the most part, dogs shouldn't be getting any lactose. But lemongrass, parsley, alfalfa, artichoke, broccoli, burdock, hawthorn berry, kale, kelp, milk thistle, red clover, yucca, dandelion roots, dandelion leaf, oatgrass, rosemary, sage, thyme, ryegrass, bee pollen, and chlorella. So there's a lot of ingredients in here, but you're giving it to him in a powder, so it's all ground up. And you know, we end up with him. He's a little smaller, so we end up giving him about 2 teaspoons a day. So.
Yeah, and actually, I was just as John was reading off the dogs formula, I was just reading the cats too. They're very similar. It just seems like it's a lower dose. So obviously, cats are a little bit smaller than dogs in terms of the weight. So you'll be giving less to them.
Yeah, and again too, this is just used as a top run food. It's not to replace food or anything like that. Now he's got his face buried in treats here, which we're gonna.
It is just that. It is a supplement. It's not going to take place of, giving the dogs their food and things like that. It's definitely something you're going to be putting on top of their food. Like John was saying, to help them digest the food, giving the dogs things that they may not be getting from their food, which they need.
Yeah, exactly. You want your dog to be able to digest its food completely, and you don't want to deal with health problems with your dog, which can get quite costly and stuff like that too. So just like with human beings, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. So if we can feed our dogs right, eat, exercise, correct with them, then it's going to be a good relationship with you and your dog. So if you guys have any questions, I hope we were able to answer some of them on this particular product, but please feel free to post any further ones in the blog or in the comment section of the video. Thank you.
Thank you.